Hello and welcome to I Can't Say It, day 332. Coming up on the end of the year. Still, we're not in the month of December yet, are we? No, we are not. And that is okay. It's November. We're feeling good. The week is going by relatively quickly, which means that work is being done. I was able to successfully finish some things that I wanted to today, make progress on, because that's always good. But as I look at the list of things to be done, there's quite a lot to go. So I need to do something to sort of keep myself together, mobilized, recognized, organized. You know what I mean. So I'm not sure what that's going to be, but it is something. We're looking at 10:30 about in the afternoon or in the evening. Just finished approving about half of the open enrollment elections that people have made, and I'll do the other half tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. So far, so good. Nothing too different, nothing too out of the ordinary. Let's see. What else is going on in the world? There's not too much going on in the world these days. We're getting a lot of crap from our president about the GM bailout, and that's fine. It's what it is. Yep. We did sort of give some money to GM, and now they're closing plants. And it's kind of funny how when you listen to the news, when the argument, because we live in a capitalist society, and so what's supposed to happen is where the markets are supposed to prevail. And GM is saying that there is no market for their cars, which I completely get. People seem to want SUVs, crossovers, minivans, whatnot. Okay. So that being said, now they're closing plants. But now people are up, in arms about the fact that 14,000 people are going to lose their jobs. Kind of funny how we're for capitalism to a point, except when it affects us, then it's like, affects us negatively. If it affects us positively, we're great. Capitalism, woo, that means let's see what the market's doing. The markets are saying, hey, people should be having cars and whatnot, and I get a car and it's working for me. I have a job, I can buy a car, I got a house, I got an iPhone, I got all these things. And everything is working for me. Capitalism's great. The second you don't have that job because of capitalism, then you get down on capitalism. So you really can't have it both ways. Or can you? That's what I'm spending my time thinking about. It's like, well, how do we handle this? Do we do what Europeans do and have a safety net for their employees that lose jobs? Maybe they should never lose their job. But that's not what capitalism is all about. Capitalism is about letting the markets decide what, works and what doesn't. And we let the markets decide how much that we pay. If, the price is too high, then, and nobody's buying it, then what do you got to do? You got to drop the cost. But you shelled out so much money to create your product. So what do? Well, you take a loss. So, these people are all stuck between a rock and a hard place. They're losing their jobs, but they live in a country that says we value capitalism, hard work, the almighty dollar. That's who we are. That's who we've been. And yeah, I'm sorry you're losing your job, but go find another one. And of course, how many auto manufacturers are there that you can find that can help you find another job? There might be some, but then you might have to move. Then you got to displace your kids, and it's rough. Now, when you look back in history, when people were at the same job for 20, 30 years, can you imagine the stability those people had, the job security? They felt comfortable. They got into a job that they liked or a job they could do. They didn't necessarily, maybe they didn't like it. Maybe they grew to like it. But at any rate, they got a job and boom. Now they have a job and they don't have to worry for the rest of their life. You got to admit, that's pretty comforting. I myself have had, 3 different jobs in the last, since the 1990s. I have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs. And I got to tell you, having 5 jobs allows me to deal with changing jobs a lot easier than if I had just had one job for 30, 40 years and had to find a new one. So for that, I am grateful. However, for those people that are not used to changing jobs, taking their skills from one company to the next, because it's not a skill that's easily transferable. My skill is, you want to know about Excel spreadsheets? Guess what? I'm pretty well versed in the Excel spreadsheets. I am not scared of them. I am not scared of the math involved in them. I am not scared of formulas. I am happy, with them. So that's not an issue. But for other people who are in very strict field, archaeology, what other choices do you have? If you can't get a job in archaeology, you got to look elsewhere. Doctors, well, I guess they can shift disciplines a little bit. They can go to family medicine. But if you're a vascular surgeon and there's no need for vascular surgeons, what do? One presumes that you're trained enough in the body that you can move to other disciplines if necessary. But then, if we go back to and think about it, car manufacturing, those jobs, and steel, those are skills that don't really transfer from one, company to the next. So, I'm working in a manufacturing company, but I could go work for a software company. I could go work for a biotech company because I'm in the human resources department. But it has got to be tough. You have to I guess you have to retrain these people, and that's, what you hear about in the news is retraining them. But I'm sorry, when you're 50 years old, do you want to be taking classes again to learn something new so that you can, you're up here but when you start a new job, you really go back down here and you got to work your way back up. I don't know too many 50-year-olds that can do that or that want to do that. So now we have to decide what we want to do for our employees as a society. That's the bigger question. We do not want our employees to suffer, but I'm not going to take it out on GM. I know that GM is doing what it can for its shareholders, for the company, so that the rest of their employees have a job. No, I'm never going to get down on companies for doing things like this if it seems necessary. Now, of course, I don't have all the information, and I don't know if it's necessary, but when you hear stock buybacks going on for $10 billion, and it's going to cost them $5 billion for the layoff, you just got to wonder about that too. So many things going on. What do we do as a society? And all you hear on the news are these 30-second spots, these little quips, these people trying to score political points and not really trying to get to the heart of the matter. Nobody's helping the employees who are going to be losing their jobs. The people that are on the news, they're trying to score points saying, look, the tax cut bill that we passed put a lot more money into GM and they bought back their stock, but it's not helping the employees that they have to lay off now because nobody wants to buy cars. Then there's the other people, we don't have a safety net. We have these employees who, are losing their jobs, but it's bad. We got to do something. And we have to do it now. We have to stop the damn politicking that's going on and actually talk about solutions for what we can do for these employees that are losing their jobs. And I don't have an answer. Well, let me just say it right there. I don't know what it is. I could go try watching Star Trek and see if what kind of things they do there as inspiration. Because honestly, you got to look for inspiration somewhere, and why not look there? But if you have any ideas, feel free to shoot me an email. See what we can do about helping these people. All right then. Somber enough day. Yes, you got a slightly longer video today. Not sure how long. Looks like it says 10 minutes. Just me rambling on. Woo! Anyway, so tomorrow's the 29th. It's the last day of November. That means we've got December coming up. Are we all ready for December? You know what December means? December means Christmas. The longest Christmas season we'll have in a while, because Thanksgiving was on the 22nd, which is the earliest possible day you could have Thanksgiving. So the longest time from Thanksgiving to